Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey friends, welcome back to 5-Minute Bible Study. This is Daily Dose Radio, your home for fresh, organic Bible study made from 100% Bible, guaranteed. So today we're looking at Psalm 57 verses 6 and 7, and we go right back to these guys, the men who are troubling David, Saul and his guys. Of course, we can spiritualize this to our enemy, the enemy of our soul. He troubles us all the time and sets nets for our steps, just like David says here in verse 6. So let me read for you verse 6 and 7. They have prepared a net for my steps. My soul is bowed down. They have digged a pit before me, into the midst whereof they are fallen themselves. Selah. My heart is fixed, O God. My heart is fixed. I will sing and give praise. All right, so we have another set here, just like 4 and 5. We begin with a description of these ones who are going to try to take David, and then we end with some confident faith and praise in God. And really, that's been sort of the operation here of the psalm since the beginning. In verses 2 and 3, we have this cry of David, which is really a confident confession. I will cry, God performeth all things for me. He shall send from heaven and save me. And then at the end of 3, he says, God shall send forth his mercy and his truth. But right there in the middle of 3, he talks about the reproach of him that would swallow me up. So in the midst of this praise, he mentions the men who are attacking him. In verse 4, he mentions the men who are attacking him, and then goes right back into praise. Be thou exalted, O God, above the heavens. Then in 6, what we have today, he mentions what they're doing, and then he mentions in verse 7 his praise. My heart is fixed, O God, my heart is fixed. So we have this back and forth between what men on earth are doing and what God in heaven is doing, and not only that, but what he's like. Be exalted, O God, above the heavens. My heart is fixed, O God, I will sing and give praise. So David is intent on showing that whatever's happening down here, God is above that. And that's why we're going to pray to him. That's why we're going to give him praise. That's why we're going to make our requests known to him, because he's the one doing this work for David. David's the one praying to him, but God is the one who's doing the work. He's the one that David is trusted in. So we go back to our description of men in 6. They've prepared a net for my steps. Well, we can go right back to Psalm 10 again and look at the description of the wicked and find out that that's what they do. They prepare nets. So they want to trap him, they want to catch him, and that's what they've done. My soul is bowed down. They have digged a pit before me. So they want David to fall into the net. They want him to fall into a pit. Of course, he says, in the midst whereof they have fallen themselves. Selah. So we have another break here between what the men are doing and what God is doing. But in 7, we have, my heart is fixed, O God. My heart is fixed. Now, I want you to compare that with what we have in verse 1. Be merciful unto me, O God, be merciful unto me. So he repeats there in verse 1 the cry for mercy. Here he repeats his confident faith. My heart is fixed. I will sing and give praise. Let me ask you a question, friend. Is your heart fixed, or are you just fickle? You just go with the flow. Whatever the tide is, whatever the thing is that everybody else is doing, you just go with that. Or are you fixed in worship and faith? A lot of people come and a lot of people go in church. I've seen it over 25, 27 years of ministry. I guess it's been about 27 years now. I've seen a lot of people come and go because they're not fixed. That's a good thing, to be fixed on the Lord. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow. We're going to look at verses 8 and 9 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.